Hello traders, welcome to today's video. We're going to cover some Bitcoin price action, we're going to look at Ethereum, we're going to look at the market in general today because it's been about a week, 10 days since I last was able to get my laptop out. Been on the islands, on a boat, without internet or phone signal or anything for most of the last couple of weeks. So yeah, nice to be back and let's get into it. So, Bitcoin starting off here. I want to start just on the macro, okay, because I still kind of think this is what we're looking at. Now, obviously, on the 13th, we did have those lows taken out once again, which has slightly changed where these fibs are lining up. So previously we had like a 1-to-1 extension around 132, and the 2.618 around 136. And then this 3.618 around 138. And they've basically just widened up a little bit for these targets. But ultimately, I still think the Bitcoin's on a trajectory to get to this zone between 130 and 140k over the coming months, or few weeks to months, basically. So that's mainly what I'm looking at the moment. We didn't really know where this low would be. Of course, if it went deeper, then it changes the targets once again, brings fibs down, takes fibs up, all of that kind of thing. But overall, yeah, we're still looking at that same range of 130 to 140 thousand dollars for the next leg higher on Bitcoin. What we've also seen recently is, I think we've maybe finally seen a little bit of confirmation that this was more of a reaccumulation, a bit of a sketchy one, because the day that we broke 100k, where the liquidity was in comparison to where perps and spot and CME was all over the place. So multiple stabs at those lows. On a couple of occasions getting pretty decent reactions. So it made it fairly difficult to trade as we came into the end of this range here. But overall, I think we are looking at something like this, where we have this nice reaccumulation kind of schematic that is playing out, where we see the break of all-time high and that big Darth Maul candle that we put in basically being the start of the range, this overall range. And then, of course, on perps, we had a wick that went very, very deep. It wasn't there on spot, so we did take out this low a couple of times on spot. And we weren't sure if that would be sufficient. Okay, we had a decent rally. It looked as though this could have a decent opportunity to hold as support, but of course, you lose the support and you break down to take it out once again. So as it came into the end of the range, it became fairly tricky to trade. We were able to catch this short really nicely, ride it down towards these lows. But actually getting the confidence really to take a long position down here was something that, mainly because I wasn't at the charts at the time, I didn't really have the confidence in that particular trade. But we've seen a very strong reaction. We have seen now that, in my opinion, we have broken through what you would consider the creek. Now, the way that I always draw the creek on these situations is a VWAP. I look for volume rather than just like drawing a trend line, because you want to break something significant, right? And you can see how we had that VWAP and the point of control converging at this point, breaking through, back testing, continuation. Then at this stage here, this was actually back testing a previous weak point of control before seeing another move higher yesterday, and actually yesterday getting the highest daily close on Bitcoin of all time. So yeah, choppy as you would expect at the highs of the range, as it was at the lows of the range, but this range has been going on for quite a while, so it would be nice to finally see that expansion once again here. Okay, so for myself, I was in that short position. I did compound that short position, closed out of it, and then I have the longs that I have been accumulating since before this point as well. So the short being mainly a hedge, that having now gone, and now just, I mean, it would be nice to see this range finally be over with, even if it does stay choppy here, even if we do kind of get another little spiky day, a bit of continuation higher. Now, what does that mean for the rest of the market? Because if Bitcoin starts to really climb once again, then altcoins have been lagging. Altcoins have not been enjoying this uncertainty at all. They had this little rally, of course, when we were, well, the beginning of the year, a small rally then. And then, of course, when there were those really nice opportunities to take the short on Bitcoin, altcoins getting crushed, and then we've just seen that continue. But I think there is reason to be a little bit bullish maybe on alts if we can see this continued momentum, which could see everything start to run together. So starting off here with Ethereum, I've just noticed here, can you see it on this screen? No, you can't. But why is the Ethereum logo now like rainbow colored on TradingView? As if it couldn't get any more gay. Anyway, it's rainbow colored. So when did they change the logo to a rainbow color? Anyway, we'll carry on. That threw me off because I've just seen the rainbow. And yeah, so Bitcoin here is similar kind of thing, right? Okay, we had the, well, big low being put in, a nice little rally, opportunities are short, you lose the point of control, get continuation down towards the lows, taking out significant lows into this weekly gap, and now just seeing consolidation here, choppy price action around that point of control and around that VWAP. So if Ethereum can start to break this, maybe a move up towards like 3,600, come back in, test into where that VWAP is, start to hold it as support, then we could be looking at a similar situation where Ethereum finally starts to trend up alongside Bitcoin if we can get this continuation. The other thing we've seen, of course, is with the BTC dominance. So Bitcoin dominance just was rising a little bit, relatively range bound once again. It came down into this anchored VWAP and it's just chilling now, but seems to be maybe forming some kind of local top here, whereby it's unable to break above these highs. You're losing a bit of momentum. Can we see that Bitcoin dominance roll over, or are we going to see Bitcoin get some decent momentum to the upside, maybe, that does, yeah, get this continuation of dominance? So I'm thinking, basically, what I want to see is Ethereum show a little bit of strength over the coming days. I don't know if that's going to happen immediately. I think this could still just stay sideways for a while. It does seem to me like we could get another push higher on the BTCD, but at some stage this is what you would want to look for, and I think this is going to be your sign really. If this does start to push higher and we get that break above the VWAP through the point of control with some decent volume, that we could finally start to see those altcoins running once again, which would be very nice because then it gives us some stuff to trade. A couple of other interesting things that I have noticed today. This is my first day back at the charts for a while, so hopefully this is all making sense. The DXY, we've been talking about this since, well, back last year, right? It came into some demand of these lows, took out some internal lows, got a decent bounce, and then the dollar has been relatively strong recently, all the way up until, of course, the election and the inauguration, which was yesterday. And now we are seeing maybe that's the dollar topping out around this point, which could be pretty decent for risk assets. Of course, the Nasdaq, having broken out from its little bit of a corrective move as well here, looks like it wants to go back for those all-time highs again. So things are looking good. I don't think they're looking immediately massively risk on. What I think we're more likely to see is just stuff continue to just be a little bit choppy for a while. Altcoins probably very sideways, maybe even down for a bit longer. And what you'd really want to see is some like pickup of momentum, a down day, and then really things start to get interesting again when you get those first big down days, similar to what we had within the previous range, which can then spark some price action from other assets and start to see that rotation of money from the likes of Bitcoin into some of the altcoins once again. There are a couple of alts that I am looking at. So I'll give you one of them. This was a trade that I just gave yesterday, and this is the kind of thing with some of these newer altcoins that are out there. Budgie Penguins, Pengu. It's not doing very much, but this is a trade that I did take yesterday. It took the lows, okay? since it launched. I know spot markets have a low that's all the way down here somewhere. All right, but I'm not really looking at that. This is where the real liquid price action is taking place. It's a new asset, it has a decent backing, decent market makers involved, all of that kind of thing. I would like to see this hold and return back towards the top of the range and just continue this range bound price action for a little bit longer here. And we'll see how it goes. So it hasn't moved very much so far, but we have seen that there was a couple of attempts to break down below these lows that we put in December, and it is holding so far. So if we can start to see this break through some of the maybe downsloping moving averages that we have, some of the VWAPs, then this could start to climb back up towards the top of the range. There's a few others that are looking similar. Doge was one of those that I had a very quick look at, but it's already had a reaction, a decent bounce so far, and yeah, that's kind of that. So I'm going to, well, tonight for the crew, we have a trading room, so that gives a little bit more chance to take a look at what's going on. And then I think tomorrow will be a live stream. I will announce that later. And yeah, I think maybe things start to pick up a bit. It's quite nice. I don't feel like I've missed very much. And I hope you guys don't feel like you've missed very much recently as well. Because whilst we're in this range, it's just not that much to trade. So day trading's been okay, I think. But yeah, let's see how things go over the next few days. And I'll see you in the next video. Cool. Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.